Welcome to the Camera Surface Model Project Part 2. In our last lesson we looked at creating canvases to help us with our modelling, and today we're going to use those canvases to help us build a model. In particular, we are going to be learning to use the sketch tool to create profiles, we're going to extrude these profiles using the extrude tool, and we're going to turn them into surface models. And we are also going to use the offset function to copy and alter a profile in order to add details to our models. So let's get started. Here are the canvases that I set up earlier, and the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to turn off the plan view canvas. This is going to allow me to concentrate on the plan view. I can now create a sketch, and I can place that sketch onto the side work plane where the picture is also placed. I'm going to zoom in so that I can work in more detail. And now I'm going to add a 2-point rectangle from the sketch toolbar at the top. I'm just going to carefully align it with the bottom corner of the camera. And then I'm going to click and drag the rectangle across. By pressing the tab bar, I can highlight the horizontal dimension and I can type that in at 90 millimeters. And now all I'm going to do is I'm going to line the top of the rectangle up with the top of the camera, and I'm going to pop my rectangle in there. I'm now going to round off the corners on the rectangle by using the fillet tool, which again is in the sketch toolbar. I do this just by clicking on the two lines that lead to the corner, and then I change the dimensions. I can play around with the dimensions and guess them. Looking at this photograph, I guessed about 5 mil. I can then repeat the process for all 4 of the corners. The profile sketch for this part is now complete, so I can go to finish sketch, and I'm just going to turn off my my canvas image so that it doesn't get in the way. You can see the shape that I've drawn now, and now I can bring up the plan view image because I need the thicknesses of the top of the camera, and I can now use the extrude tool, and this time I'm going to extrude in 2 directions. I want to come forward away from the baseline, and I want to be able to go back as well. You'll see when you're in this function because you will get 2 arrows instead of 1. I'm then just going to pull on the arrow, and I'm going to bring the shape out so that it's the same size as the shape in the image. Once I'm happy with the thickness, I can then click OK and approve the changes that I've made. I'm then just going to very quickly turn this canvas off so we can see the shape. I'm now going to activate my front view so that I can start to model the shape on the inside. And to do that, I'm going to use the offset tool, which can be found in Sketches. But before I do that, I must click on the surface, create a new sketch, okay, and then I can use the offset tool. With the offset tool selected, I'm going to click on the rectangle that I've just drawn. And this will give me the option to make it bigger, but what I want to do is I want to flip it because I want the shape to be on the inside. And I'm going to reduce the size of it by 1 millimeter. Now that I'm happy with this new profile shape, I'm just going to switch my view into the plan view again, and I'm going to select the profile and I'm going to extrude it. And again, I'm going to use the photograph to help me judge the distance. Notice I'm only having to pull it out in one direction at the moment. And also notice that I'm ignoring the back of the camera. I'm going to come to that later. I want to concentrate on the front of the camera at the moment. I've just turned the sketch off and you can now see the new shape. So that's the main body of my camera completed. Next week we're going to look at the lens housing. Here's some points to remember. First of all, the majority of models start life as a sketch profile, so please make sure that you're using sketches to help you create your shapes. Secondly, the extrude tool. It's not the only way of making solids from sketches, but it is one of the most common, so please learn it and practice it as much as you can. And then finally, tools like the dimension, the fillet and the offset tool are really good at speeding up your designing, so please get used to using them. Thanks very much for watching, and I will see you soon.